Well, it's coming up awards season, in particular the coveted Ballance Farm Environmental Awards. The awards season just starting, Bay of Plenty, the first of 11 regions, and the BFEA, the BFEA ambassador decided at the National Showcase, which of course early June at Te Papa. Now, Warwick Catto, the Science Strategy Manager for Ballance Agri-Nutrients, is also a trustee of the New Zealand Farm Environment Trust, who manage the Ballance Farm Environment Awards. Been a national judge for 8 years or so, which includes the on-farm judging. Welcome to the show, Warwick. Look, just talk us through. What are the judges looking for in these regional awards?
Each region has a supreme winner in terms of the farm, and it's not just an environment award, although an environmental lens is the pillar on which the award program works. But we're also very interested in financial stability. Last thing you need is someone to win the award and then a couple of years later go broke. So financials are very important, community contribution, and obviously farm productivity. So it's I suppose the BFEA Awards look at it with an environmental lens, but they like to see the pillars of a strong business enterprise right throughout.
Warwick, the people that know about the awards, like myself and yourself and many, many others, been to many field days, just explain to us what sort of person enters these awards. It's not all sandal-wearing tree huggers, is it? It's
interesting. When we first started sponsoring the event back in 2003, it was something we were very concerned about, is how many farmers we would alienate from effectively sponsoring what was perceived as a green competition. Whereas today, and certainly been involved with it today, environmental emphasis is actually quite mainstream. And most of these business people that you see there are conventional farming with very entrepreneurial thoughts and quite mainstream. And they enter for a range of reasons. Some are really annoyed at how they are perceived or portrayed to urban audiences. They want to stand up and say, actually, I do a good job, I do care about the environment and all that sort of thing. Get others that actually do it because effectively they get half a day of free advice, so they get a chance to get people to run around the farm and benchmark themselves, and others that do it from a competition perspective. But so there's a range of reasons.
Warwick, I guess there are those, so you talk about some of those urban folk and those who challenge what's happening on the land on a daily basis. If somebody says to you, how can an intensive Canterbury dairy farm actually end up winning, or could they end up winning a Ballance Farm Environment Award?
Yeah, well, and a good example of that is the Slees. They were a very intensive dairy farm down near south of Ashburton, right on those shallow soils. Yes. And obviously nitrogen's a real hot topic in Canterbury. And I went to that farm and looked at it, and marvellous enterprise. But one of the key things you need to think about is if Canterbury wants to produce 1 million kilos of milk solids, for example, just make some simple math, do they want that from one farm or 10 farms, And the thing that you saw that what the Slees did is they used the water extremely efficiently. Their nitrogen loss per kilogram of milk solids, so their nitrogen loss was I wouldn't call it high, but it was certainly above average. But when you actually looked at that loss for the production it was producing, so nitrogen leached per kilogram of milk solids, it was a highly efficient farm. Their staff management was wonderful, and you could pick the farm out from miles away because of the way they'd planted it with biodiversity and that. So there are a range of things. They used their resources very efficiently, but their environmental footprint was pretty efficient.
Okay, Warwick, how do people enter or attend the awards? And as you say, a lot of people getting different things out of the awards, but good across the board.
Yeah, well, I think for me they should enter for I call it the BFEA experience. So they should primarily enter it for the information that they gain from the on-farm visit. I think that's the most important thing they'll actually get out of it. They'll establish some really good networks, and if they want to enter, just Google BFEA. Everyone's pretty much on the internet these days, BFEA, and just Google that and it'll take you to the website, and it tells you where the various events are, the award processes. It starts about the 1st of August, so they've got plenty of time to think about it and go along to the award dinners and be inspired, really.
Warwick, I've been to many field days and, like you say, get some good advice, see how people are doing it better so you can do that at home. As a judge, what have you got out of the competition over the years personally?
It's quite inspiring visiting some of these properties and what they're doing. I always remember the blueberry operation in Hawke's Bay we went to. They were exporting blueberries to Vietnam. I enjoy some of the horticultural exposure, but it's also in my role in the innovation team within Ballance, you get a good feel for what leading farmers are thinking about, what's keeping them awake at night, where are they at. And the other hat that I often wear is I go to Wellington occasionally, meet with central and regional government people. You also have a mental picture and can portray an example farm of where leading farmers are at. And I think that is particularly powerful because if our leading farmers aren't getting to those points, regulators shouldn't be asking mainstream farmers to move to where these people aren't at. So it's a bit of a sanity check about what will or won't work in terms of what we're trying to achieve.
Radio Live Rural Exchange.